Is it ever good to be third? Have you ever noticed that the guy who wins bronze is always happier than the guy who wins silver? Happens more often than you think. And if you think about it, you lose silver, but you win bronze. Silver is a disappointment. Silver says you were good, you're just not good enough. But bronze, oh baby, bronze medal shows up and everyone's just like, wow man, you made it to the podium, that's not easy. So sometimes there is a perk to being number 3. However, when a serial killer picks you as their number 3, it's not quite the same. And as usual, this particular kill that we're talking about this week is just dripping with that sweet, sweet IK irony that has fallen on each victim like a goddamned anvil. I am, of course, talking about the infamous kill that earned Daddy's Little Psycho the status of serial killer, YouTuber Yoga Giroux Admos, who was found with a 3/4 inch hole power drilled through his head. It makes you wonder whether in those final moments when the drill was coming towards him, his mind spinning with possibilities, whether he was more worried about his impending lobotomy or being forcibly given his third eye. Did he ask himself, am I that much of an asshole to be number 3? So, bronze or silver, you tell me. I am your host, Ben Robinson. Here's what we know. On February 24th, the then two-eyed Giroux Admos was performing? Acting? We'll call it performing for the sake of calling it something. He just sits there for an hour and a half. It's like watching the goddamn Fireplace channel. Anyway, Giroux Admos was performing his latest episode on the path to enlightenment, and sometime after he hit upload and before achieving gory nirvana, the image killer snuck into his home. Now, I don't like speaking poorly about the recently departed, but this guy was once caught meditating in a women's locker room, stating that it was the only place to, and I quote, relieve his burdened spirit. Yeah. And another time, he got into an argument that was anything but zen when he misquoted Yogi Saba and was being politely corrected by one of his acolytes. And then, of course, there's the fact that he refers to his subscribers as acolytes. Is it possible to be more of a douchebag? I think not. So let's drill into this particularly grisly murder. Starting with the clue that we got from IK, it seems so obvious looking back. The post contained a brightly lit flat lay displaying fried tofu and 2 small finger gongs. I'm not sure what they're actually called, but finger gongs sounds moderately accurate, so we'll go with that, and if it's something else, you know what I mean. Now, if you look close enough at the post, you can see that there's actually the letters GA etched into each of the finger gongs. At first glance, I assumed this was probably some sort of yoga term that I wasn't aware of because I'm neither flexible enough nor woke enough to attend these hashtag spiritual sessions. And before someone goes and crucifies me for being ignorant, none of you are able to save him either, so go check yourself. What's fascinating here is the level of detail and balls that IK has now. It's like she wanted to commemorate this milestone of graduating from downward dog-facing murderer to rising crane serial killer. Or perhaps Giroux Admos just had monogrammed finger gongs. But let's assume for a moment that IK either etched the letters herself or specifically put the gongs in there. Just think about how cocky she's getting. Now let's talk about the death itself. I know this is likely going to flag my post with parental advisory, surprise, but it's the most ironic death yet, and I've got to go into it in the name of factual enlightenment. Here we go. According to the coroner's report, and quit asking me, I'm not going to tell you, we know that Giroux Admos wasn't dead when IK started up the drill. Either he was drugged or she played him into doing some kinky shit, sans safe word. I like to think it was the latter scenario because, well, there's a joke in there about him wanting to drill her and then the tables turned and actual drills are involved, and like I said, dripping with irony in what has become typical IK fashion. In a lawn sprinkler of blood, Giroux Admos was given a new hole in his head. To date, this was her messiest crime. And police were only alerted to the fact there was a body when the Giroux's downstairs neighbor started complaining about a red stain on his ceiling. What astounds me is that, according to the report, it wasn't just the drill that killed him, at least not at first. That's right, Giroux Admos was in fact killed by poison, which means that IK might actually have a heart after all, and eased his suffering. On the other hand, that also means that he was conscious when the drill spun up for its gory delight. So, dealer's choice on that one. What should interest you about this unique little factoid is that poison is, classically speaking, a woman's weapon. I know, it sounds sexist, but if you think about it, really try to tap into that murderous corner of your brain. What's the easiest way to take down a chauvinistic, fit-as-hell, straight-edge yogi? Perhaps even the playing field with a little party punch in the chamomile. And yet, despite all of this evidence, nobody has a single lead as to who IK might be. Just let that sink in for a minute. Just get comfy, just snuggle into it, because gold, silver, and bronze have all been handed out, and we're well into the honorable mentions, and no one knows who's running the freak show. My biggest takeaway here, at least we don't have the clutter of another phony guru spewing his garbage mantras into the minds of the masses. And that is all we know. If you've got a theory as to who IK is, one that doesn't suck, let me know. I'm taking a few more callers next week. Otherwise, until then, good night.